this is just going to be an extension of yesterday's video when we was talking about Uranus, right? Uranus is ruled by Aquarius, or it rules the Aquarian energy. Understanding that we're in the age of Aquarius, right? Saturn is in Aquarius. Saturn is the Lord of Karma, right? The Lord of Karma. And it is in the Aquarian energy dictating the age of Aquarius, right? So I'm just going to continue from there. Where I left off, I was talking about being a glitch, right? He was born to be a glitch, right? This is referring to the chosen, those who are chosen, right? The divine collective. We are glitches in the matrix, right? So what kind of things do people do in order to ease over the glitch, right? So that's why, you know, Spirit brought up the movie to me, Wreck-It Ralph. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. It was something about this movie that I don't know, for some reason it was just will me to like it, or to watch it more than once, more than twice. Of course, not back to back, but it's just one of those movies that I can, you know, rewatch, you know, and not get bored. It was 111 when I said that. And, you know, 111 is talking about, or 1 is talking about individuality, right? So the fact that it showed a triple like that, I feel like, you know, that says a lot, or that speaks a lot about the movie itself, Wreck-It Ralph, right? Because, you know, when you're a glitch in the matrix, you're bringing reckoning, you know, to things that need to be destroyed, right, or tarnished and rebuilt again, right? So that's, you know, that's where we left off, right, talking about the glitch. But the other thing about the glitch is the sign of alchemy. What is the symbol of alchemy, right? And it's talking about, you know, that cross with matter. That's how Uranus is explained as well, right? Remember yesterday we said the dual soul of humanity is separated by the cross of matter, linking the human to the divine, supported and energized by the circle of spirit. So we got the cross of matter and then the circle of spirit, right? So we're talking about, you know, all of the elements as well, right? Water, earth. So we got fire, water, earth, air. But you also have like the minerals, right? The crystal kingdom and all those things as well. Alright. So I'm going to read what are Uranian characteristics, because if you are, you know, a vessel of truth, you know, you're bringing this reckoning here with exposing, you know, exposing things that need to be exposed, you know, contributing to raising collective consciousness, right? You will have these Uranian characteristics, right? Uranian people can seem wired, as though crackling with static. This is an innovator. Let me go ahead and put this on before I even go any further. Alright. Uranian people can seem wired, as though crackling with static. So before we even move forward, that's what, you know, brought glitch to my attention when I read that statement. And like I said, the same day, earlier that day, one of my Facebook friends had just, I had read their post when they said I was born to be a glitch, right? Uranian people can seem wired, as though crackling with static. This is an innovator, a rebel, a nonconformist, anyone who challenges accepted norms and conventions. Detached and perhaps aloof, someone with Uranus strong in his or her birth chart feels no need to be socially accepted. Excuse me. This personality nevertheless has a deep sense of social awareness. This is someone who lives a step ahead of the rest of humanity, and as such is frequently misunderstood. So this is something that is a recurring topic, you know, a dilemma of our lives, as well as, you know, divine people, where we find a lot of conflict, a lot of emotional and mental conflict within ourselves, you know, feeling so misunderstood because of, you know, us disregarding, hey, there's a mystery to us. We are a reflection of the divine, right? So, you know, there's aspects of the divine that is mystery. It is a mystery, you know, and it is the intended purpose for it to be so, right? Even if it's not a mystery forever, right? But there are some things about us that are mysterious that it's hard for people to You know, like we automatically assume that because we have, you know, these divination gifts, and we have, you know, all these clairs and stuff like that, we're able to, you know, see people's potential. We're able, you know, we have psychic and telepathic abilities where we can read people's minds, or, you know, we know how to, you know, read between the lines. You know, we know how to process information and, you know, be empathic to people. So we automatically assume, you know, that other people are this way, or the people that we engage with, you know, that they are this way too. And when they fail to be that way or show that way for us, you know, we get very disappointed. You know, we begin to regress, you know, in our subconscious, or we begin to regress back to subconscious, you know, patterns of survival, or like when we were in our root chakra, when, you know, when we felt like our security was compromised, right? So this is what, you know, basically we're needing to basically understand why this is, why it occurs, you know, understand the energy and its purposes, right? It's, you know, why does this energy exist? What are we to do with it? You know, what is there to learn from it, you know, and how do we shape it, you know, to work for our benefit, right? So south node to north node energy, taking what works, right? Taking what works best from south node energy, bringing it into the north node, right? And using that, you know, to, you know, build something or rebuild something even better, right? So this is what we're needing to do with our vessels, with our soul journeys. This is what we're needing to do. All right. So another thing too, a lot of us, we deal with remnants of detachment as a result of dealing with, you know, betrayals and, you know, shifty, imprecate, you know, healthy and proper love, right? Wholesome love. So we've grown to become very detached. Now, is that absolutely wrong? No, but we still have to maintain a balance. We have to be able to discern, you know, where detachment is best applied and where it isn't, right? You know, sometimes we can get so caught up in being detached or whatever because it's become our safe place and stuff like that. But we still, you know, have to find a balance between, you know, how to be sociable with others as well, right? Instead of just isolating ourselves. Detached and perhaps aloof, someone with Uranus strong in his or her birth chart feels no need to be socially accepted. This personality nevertheless has a deep sense of social awareness. This is someone who lives a step ahead of the rest of humanity, and as such is frequently misunderstood. While a passive sun sign might tone down a strong Uranus, a Uranus attuned person always finds a way to challenge injustice, to fight for the underdog, and to pursue causes that will change the world. So this is who I'm talking to. I'm talking to people who have these traits, you know, these characteristics. Like, this is who you are. This is assigned to your purpose. This is in your DNA for you to be this person, for you to be this for you to be this person, to stand up for others even, right? To speak up. This revolutionary spirit, the awakener, the truth speaker, the truth teller. So let's read this again. While a passive sun sign, right, a person's personality, while a passive personality might tone down a strong Uranus. A Uranus attuned person, like, this is a person who wants to keep the peace, right? So that's what we mean by a passive personality. Someone, you know, who's willing to not say what they actually want to say because they rather keep the peace and avoid more conflict or more drama, or, you know, a re-experience of drama that they already encountered from being that person who tells the truth, being that revolutionary, you know, person in the conversation, and this, that, and the third. So this is what a person with a passive personality, right? A passive personality is going to be whatever your sun sign is, right? All right. So a passive sun sign might tone down a strong Uranus. This is not to say that this person isn't strong. You know, this is just someone who is very who's very conscious and aware about, you know, how people receive information, like, around them. Like, they're very attentive to how these people receive the information as well, and, you know, the consequences of that, or what, you know, what happens, what's the transaction, you know, what happens. So they're just familiar with it, and there's just certain unpleasant things about it, unpleasantries that they just rather avoid, right? So, okay, a person, but this is the thing, this is why even with that, you need to make sure your Uranian energy is attuned, right? So that's, you know, tuning it until it's balanced, right? Because a Uranus attuned person always finds a way to challenge injustice, always finds a way. It may not be, a conventional way, but they always find some way to challenge injustice, to fight for the underdog, even when no one else will, no matter how difficult it is. They find a way to fight for the underdog and to pursue causes that will change the world. They're not, spending all of their energy into irrelevant shit that keeps us in our root chakra. No, they're not using their gifts and their powers and their abilities to do that. I have another video to do right after this one, and it's going to be called "We Are the Crystal Gems." And yes, it is inspired by Steven Universe, but I got a channeling about that. Okay, associated with eccentricity. Uranus also, okay, so you could also be a person who's very eccentric too. Like your appearance could be very eccentric. Your thought processes, the things that you're into, your interests, your hobbies, could be very eccentric too, like very unique and original. And that's just a reflection of your soul, right? Associated with being eccentric, Uranus also symbolizes all that is freakish and bizarre. Strong or difficult aspects to Uranus are translated in a need to be different, perverse, and unorthodox. When Uranian power goes Ari in this way, it indicates someone who is antisocial and anarchic. And I know I'm saying this wrong, but I'm familiar with this word. Okay. Strong or difficult aspects to Uranus are translated in a need to be different, perverse, and unorthodox. The only thing about this is that we have to consider the polarities of all energies. We have to consider the spectrum. We have to consider people being in different frequencies, people signing different soul contracts when they come into this realm, right? So think about a karmic energy or a de-evolved person in this energy, right? And how do they, play out the Uranian energy, right? If it's like a need to be different. And then they also have perverse. So this is why you will see people who are fluctuating and having perversions and stuff like that, or these pedophiles and stuff like that. These people are very imbalanced in their Uranian energy, right? They're using that eccentric, that energy that's very different, that outsider energy. They're pulling these things up from, like, the malignant dark. Not benevolent dark, but the malignant dark forces. They're pulling out these things that are new to us, these things that are, that are not supposed to be a part, of our cultures, right? Like these kind of magics and rituals, against our children or just against people in general, right? For demonic and selfish purposes. So this is what, this is the thing about Uranian energy as well. When it's, adverse, when energy is adverse. Wreck-It Ralph. That's why we have reckoning here. I also wrote down a definition for reckoning. A settling of accounts. Day of reckoning. A summing up of things, right? Crunching the numbers. Crunching the angel numbers. Doing the math. Like, you guys are more, it's like you're more profound in understanding how to calculate not only yourself, but how to calculate life and those around you, right? How to do the calculations. Understanding, like, no, this stuff is not just for me to apply to working for somebody. No, these sciences and, this math and stuff like that, it's for me to apply to my actual, spiritual journey, right? All right. So I'm going to go through, okay, another thing before I move forward was endurance and resilience too, right? Because Uranus is in Taurus. I'm gonna tell you, I checked the current planets today. It's the same exact placements that it was yesterday, and it's a lot of Piscean energy, a lot of Pisces energy. Speaking of that, let's go there really quick. So you can see a lot of this energy right now. Victim, martyr, savior mentalities, or things like that happening, right? Or people with this type of mentality being exposed, or just this cycle, this kind of cycle, being the victim, then being the martyr, and then progressing to being a savior, right? So it can go, any kind of way, right? So you'll also see addictions fluctuated, right? This could also talk about addiction spells, addiction curses being reversed, right? All of these things taking place, right? Because Saturn is in Aquarius, so it's dealing people's karma, rightfully so. So anybody who's, ever try to play on your mental health or try to get you to be addicted to things, this, that, and the third, or whatever. Like, all of these things, are being amplified at this time because Pluto is in Capricorn. Pluto is in Capricorn. Like, this earth energy, The father of the zodiac. And let me see. But yeah, so this is talking about your endurance too throughout these cycles that you've encountered, or let's say you've experienced these things, like these created storms for you, and now these storms that these people, you know, who participated in creating these storms for you, these storms that they're going to be experiencing is all their energy backfiring onto them, but it's like it's amplified, you know, with those who work to protect you, and that is the divine realm, right? So these storms, you know, like that's why, you know, even with the weather, like the weather being, you know, bipolar and shit like that. Because, you know, yesterday I was thinking it was so hot where I'm at. It was like at least 80 degrees. But somebody else in a whole nother area, it was cold as fuck where they was at. You know? And I was just like, wow, you know, like, why do we really not, we don't really truly process how much is right in our face, that everybody is literally on their own unique journeys, bro. Own unique journeys. And think about the weather, right? Okay. Traditionally, whether well or poorly placed, the disposition tends toward chaotic and eccentric. Well-placed Uranus is inventive and revolutionary, whilst a poorly placed Uranus is rebellious and unstable. That's why I put a revolutionary rebellion versus a rebellious insanity. Why? Because you have people, you have people being rebellious against you being a revolutionary spirit. You know, exposing these truths, you know, exalting the Uranus energy, because Uranus is exalted in Scorpio, right? Scorpio is talking about those things people don't want to talk about. Addressing those things people rather keep hidden, or people have tried to keep hidden, right? Those occulted things, those things that those kinds of magic, the kind of magic that's really going to transform, you know, our lives. You get what I'm saying? That's really going to help us levitate, you know, these deep, you know, very sacred forms of magic that's been hidden from us, that's been stolen from us, that's been utilized and reversed against us, right? Bringing these things to light, to surface, right? So your Uranus is exalted in your energy if you are doing this, right? But you have people competing, like prideful energies, right? Because its detriment is in Leo. So what I was hearing today, this morning, was the pride, right? What are the low vibrations of the Leo energy, right, when it's imbalanced? So think about a very prideful, you know, haughty individual, right? So you got prideful, haughty individuals, people who are prideful and haughty in their insanity, rebellious against those who are, you know, chosen, the divine, those who are pure in heart, you know, those who have, you know, a clean sacred vessel, right? You have these type of energies trying to, you know, conflict you, or trying to invite you to, you know, different forms of conflict and mental conflicts, right? To cause a fall. And this could be through your relationships. This could be through your finances. This could be through provoking you, antagonizing you, like the bull energy, right? Because this is talking about Taurus. That's why its fall is in Taurus. Uranus is in Taurus right now. Uranus is in Taurus right now. So keep that in mind. That's why you gotta let this shit go. It's like, you know what it is now. You know it for what it is. You done experienced it time and time again. It's like, okay, stop accepting the invitation. They don't have nothing to do with you. You understand that this person is a weak vessel, and a demon just hopped their bodies. A demon is utilizing them to you, at the end of the day, carry out a mission against you, against whom is the divine chosen. Period. That's it. Right? So you know what it is. So stop buying into that. Stop fueling them, gassing them up, because otherwise they can't drive nowhere without your gas. They can't drive nowhere without your diesel. So stop gassing them. Stop gassing them. All right. It's not saying that you have to be a pushover, you know what I'm saying, not stand up for yourself, speak up for yourself, but, you know, just going all, like really buying into the illusion, or whatever, like, words are spun, you know, to try to pull you out or draw you out, you know what I'm saying, and make you step into their world and shit and all of that. No, you know, reject the invitation. It's not yours. You take a step back, you recognize it for what it is. Hey, that's not me. That's all you. It's a projection. You've learned all these things. So all Spirit is saying is that all these things that we've been learning, make it concrete. Make it concrete. Make it concrete. Don't doubt it. Don't doubt it. It's like hands-on. It's like hands-on training. Hands-on training. So just continue to increase your expertise in how you journey through your life. Facts. Exactly. The web, the net. That's why you're a glitch. That's why you're a glitch. You're a glitch in the matrix, in the planet. That's crazy. A plan to keep you netted to some shit, or netted with the masses, netted with the unconscious. Now netted with the de-evolved. No. I'm supposed to be like this. I'm rebellious. I'm disrespectful. No, actually, no, that shit ain't right. And I'm not about to sit here and just because everybody else around me, I'm not going to conform to the shit when I know in my soul that shit is not right. That is not okay. That is not okay. Right? And owning that shit, whether you got people to walk out with you, to protest with you or not, own that shit. Even when it seems like you by yourself amongst the humans around you, you know that you're really not. This is some David and Goliath shit. I don't care what you look like, how big you are, how small you are, what you got, what you don't got, how much money you got, how much money, whatever. I don't care. This is some David and Goliath. You see how they handle it, and look how you handling it, right? Because where is their faith? A lot of these people's faith their faith are in man, right? It's not in a divine source. It's not there, right? They don't even have faith in themselves. They don't have those men in that story. They didn't have faith in themselves. They didn't have faith in themselves. So you got people who upset with you because you got people who literally don't like you simply for the simple fact that you have faith in yourself. Exactly. All right, so the horns and head of the bull form the Taurus glyph, signifying the strength and determination of the sign of the Taurus energy, right? Uranus is in Taurus. You have people trying to challenge your strength, your determination, you know, trying to lessen that or cause it to decrease or whatever, just trying to disrupt that, right? So we already know Taurus is ruled by Venus, so that's why I'm saying this could be in like relationships, connections, your passions, your desires, right? Because Venus is love and lust. So Taurus is exalted in the moon energy. So this is talking about your emotional stability, your intuition, your creativity, right? So this is talking about utilizing your creativity, working with the elements, right? Performing alchemy. This is another thing about the Taurus energy because it's an earth energy, right? So this is the alchemist energy. So Uranus and Taurus combined, come on. If Aquarius is the nonconformist, if Aquarius is the outsider, if Aquarius is that revolutionary energy, and that is merged with the Taurian energy, come on now. But understand, the detriment of Taurus is Mars and Pluto. Mars and Pluto, people coming at you, attacking at you without a cause, persecuting you, and you getting exhausted from it. You feeling, sometimes feeling afraid, feeling annoyed, you know what I'm saying? Feeling disoriented, right? Think about the bull when they shock the bull with electricity before they release it from the gate, right? All the audience see is a bull that's just bucking, that's just wild and shit, but they don't see what's happening in the fence before they release the bull. They don't see that. And these people just getting entertained off that. So you dealing with energies like that when people don't really know who the fuck they fucking with for real. But they want to co-sign some shit. And you know what I'm saying? Try to, you know, bring more unnecessary, you know, gray clouds or cloudy, you know, cloudy moments in your life unnecessarily. Like, no. No. You could have, especially for some guys, you could have some people challenge you just for the simple fact of your appearance being very strong and solid. You ain't even got to be no big dude, but it's just like your ambiance, your essence, your stature is very solid and strong. Like the way you walk, like you could tell this is the person who just walks with like confidence or some shit. So having people challenging you for that just because they lack confidence. Exactly. Grounded in your steps. Okay. I'm so glad you said that. Not just ground, because, you know, grounding, most of the time when grounding is taught for, you know, you just stand in one place and you ground. And that does count as grounding. But what I just heard was also in your steps, how you lead through your life. It's very grounded steps, like you're very sure of yourself. Even if you're taking risks, you have faith in yourself. You have people jealous of you, envying you for that simple fact. For that simple fact. You don't even know if it's going to work out, but you have faith in yourself. Like, regardless, I know that I got a good ass chance. I know I got a good ass chance. I know I'm going to make something shake. If that's not going to shake, something else going to shake. That's the type of mentality that you have, a very grounded self-concept, a very grounded, you know, knowing of your purpose, right? Knowing of why you're here, right? Knowing of your worth. And people trying to, you know, confuse you of knowing your value by trying to project how they feel about themselves onto you. Because you're too intimidating, you're too sure, and you're too determined that you are a divine chosen. You're too determined, you know what I'm saying, to be revolutionary. You're too determined. No, focus on me and the drama that I'm trying to bring. This drama that I'm trying to invite you to. This misery that I want to invite you to. These addictions that I want to invite you to. Focus on me. Focus on me, right? Look, I don't know if you can see this, but this says Mars. Mars and Pluto. Right? Mars and Pluto. And y'all should already be familiar with Mars energy. But you know what's cool about Mars? It's like the connection that it has with Venus. The connection that Mars has with Venus. And that's why you will see love relationships or connections that are like fatal attractions or very toxic, or people kill their lovers and stuff like that. Yeah, it's very closely related. Love and war. Like, that's why, like that saying, a thin line between love and hate. Mars and Venus is like, yeah, Mars, Venus type shit. So, gotta be careful about that. This is talk about people who are obsessed, who are obsession prone, individuals, fixated, right? Because yesterday we was talking about fixation, right? It was the day before yesterday when I was talking about the second house. What to be aware of in the second house, because we're currently in the second house, right? The second house is Taurus. So addictions are more prone, you know, to skyrocket at this time, right? So people being fixated as well, right? Obsessed. So I want to read Mars really quick. In the ancient symbol, the cross of matter sat above the circle of spirit. The cross of matter sat above the circle of spirit, symbolizing the creative force imposing its will. In the modern symbol, the cross is replaced by the arrow of desire. It rules over Aries and Scorpio. That's why I say, you know, that Pluto and Mars is flip too. Because, you know, Scorpio is also ruled by Pluto. So it's ruled by Pluto and Mars. Okay. Its detriment is Libra. What is the Libra energy? Truth, the scales, the balancer, right? Libra is exalted and Saturn is exalted in Libra. Saturn, the Lord of Karma, is exalted in Libra. Why? Why does Saturn love Libra? Because Libra is the scales. Libra is the truth. Libra is the judge. Libra is the facts. Libra is that sharpness, that intelligence, that higher mind, that wisdom, right? That's the Libra energy, right? So that's why Mars, right? People trying to impose their will onto you. That's why its detriment is Libra. You having the knowledge that you have, you having this higher wisdom and this higher mind, you know, to levitate above, you know, their darts that they're throwing at you. Oh my God. Exalted in Capricorn. Pluto is in Capricorn right now. And then its fall is in Cancer. So people getting too riled up in their emotions. People trying to arouse your emotions and get you all, you know what I'm saying? Because when they stir up your emotions so much, trying to stir up the pot, easily your emotions can just completely take over or just disregard your knowledge, right? Exactly. Keywords: will, action, assertion, aggression, vitality. Nope, I take that back. Will, action, assertion. So being assertive. aggression, virility, self-preservation, lust, passion, male sexuality, energy, heat, anger, angst, rage, vigorous, impatience, and burning. Ooh. Mars is known as the red planet, easily visible from Earth, the urge to act. Okay, so this energy for you, the Mars energy for you shows up as a person who is very, you can have a tendency to be bluntly honest. You may not be a person who initiates competitions like unless it's like harmless competition, right? This is not to say that you're competitive, but you can be competitive. Like you're like a winning, you have like a winning spirit. It's like if you play, you're not going to be competitive like, oh, I'm going to hunt you down, I'm going to keep going against you until I win, I will defeat you, and you're not fixating on it and developing rage and anger behind it. Like, see, that's the other energy. That's the lower vibration, right? The de-evolved energies. This is how they manifest this energy of Mars. Unlike you, right? Because for you, like the energy, the passion for you, your passion is not behind, oh, I'm going to defeat you and I'm going to be better than you and I'm going to prove that, that's not how your passion is directed. Your passion is directed into, raising collective consciousness, self-development, making yourself happy, doing things that's going to fulfill yourself and fulfill those around you, those that you love. You know what I'm saying? Your passion is behind your creativity, this, that, and the third, healing, right? It's rightly directed. You're a natural warrior. So this is talking about a person who is very courageous. But if it's poorly placed, this is an individual who can be very violent, quarrelsome, and treacherous. I just heard... I just heard Too Comfortable song when Future said something about treachery. But anyway. So here's the thing, even though, how we just read about Mars, like with lust being in its category, right? Right, that misdirected passion. This is also energy of Venus, right? Relatedness, love, lust, social ability, desire, aesthetic, attraction, eroticism, female sexuality, harmony, charm, vanity, intimacy, rivalry, beauty, covetousness, gratification, lasciviousness, and voluptuousness, right? So misdirected reproductive energies, sexual energy, abuse of sexual energies versus those, who understand how to alchemize and use their energies to manifest, right? Anyway, let's get back to Uranus. Another thing too, when you keep, because these energies are very extreme, that's why I put to the extremes, right? And I put, I put 6, I think it was 6, 3, 8, and 9. The 6s and the 9s, the 6 was for like the 6 was for the mark, what they quote unquote call the marker to be, 666, what we actually know it to be, right? So this is talking about this energy being more profound in this time and moving forward, right? Being able to very clearly see and identify who these individuals are and who they are not, right? Who does not have that mark. And then the 3s was talking about authenticity. This is also a very extreme energy that's going to be very profound moving forward right now and moving forward. Authenticity. It's going to be very clear to see who's authentic and who's inauthentic, right? Who's fraudulent. And then the number 8 was talking about your abundance, your prosperity, right? And then the 3s, see the 3 and the 8, it's connected, because when you turn the 3s around, it makes that 8, right? So embodying full authenticity with integrity in order to obtain that true prosperity, right? And then 6 and 9 goes together, right? As above, so below. The 9 also talks about endings as well. Let me see. I feel like the 9 is like because it's like endings, but it's like it's like transformations to me. As above, so below. Okay, so another thing about Uranus and Taurus, right? This nonconformist who is stoic in nature, who's very protective and very loyal to their cause, to the causes that they believe in, right? Regardless of how many people don't co-sign them or don't support them, this, that, and the third. Like, they're very loyal to an upright cause. All right? This is this Aquarian and Taurian energy combined. So this talks about, you know, you having to undergo a lot of pressure. But you're doing good with this pressure, though. Because it says Taurus can show incredible stamina under pressure while adhering outwardly to convention. But there is a much lighter side to this personality. A lover of music, the arts, and the good things of life is typically Taurian. This self-indulgent personality is a pleasure seeker who enjoys his or her sensuality to the full. Okay, so this could talk about people who's exercising this in a way that does not harm others, does not cause any harm to others. You know, it's very divine. You know, it's just something that's a part of them. You know, that you know, something that adds to you, right? Something that charges you, as we are crystals, right? We are crystals. So you know, just living out your properties, your gifts and your abilities naturally. But then you have other individuals. You have de-evolved. You got de-evolved individuals upset with you because you're not conforming to their ideas of pleasure. You don't want to get you don't want to get drunk and fucking just, you don't want to do that shit. The things that they deem fun, just because a lot of people deem fun, you don't think it's fun. Like, you look at it from a higher mind. Like, that don't look very safe for me to mix my energy and all that shit. No, like that's how you are. So this could cause like tension between people too. People, you know, looking at you like, oh, who you supposed to be, and you know, they may try to challenge your how you view yourself, right? They may try to pervert it, twist it, and pervert it, and make you feel like no, actually what you are doing, like, actually you're selfish, actually you're arrogant, actually you're this, like, actually, you know, you're gaslighting, you're doing this, you know, people trying to flip what they do, trying to flip that onto your energy, when in actuality, no, you're just, you know, being respectful to yourself. You're placing boundaries and you're honoring your boundaries, right? These people are not used to boundaries. They're not used to having boundaries. Yeah. So if Uranus is in Taurus and Sun is in Taurus, what are the things? Because remember, Uranus is exalted in Scorpio energy, right? So I feel like Scorpio energy is like shadow energy. When we talk about shadow work and stuff like that, I feel like Scorpio needs to needs to start being associated with shadow work, right? The shadow. So it says the Taurian shadow incorporates the unpleasant side of Scorpio. Venomous, ill humor. And so people throwing shots at you. So you already peeped that shit. You're not letting that shit slide no more. Oh, kick my ass. No. People trying to, you know, be shady to you, trying to throw like shots, and because they really are attacks. I don't care how simple it was, how short it was. It doesn't matter. This is spiritual war. These are attacks. They could say something with just 5 words in a statement, but you'll sit there and you'll fixate on it longer than you should. Even after the phone call, even after the interaction. But this was intentional. This was intentionally designed to do that, right? To plague your mind, plague your spirit. Have you question yourself, right? Or give them energy, right? Through that invitation that they just gave you. You accept the invitation. All right, venomous ill humor, envy, jealousy, and resentment fuel an underlying smoldering rage. It fuels an underlying smoldering rage. The archetypal grudge bearer. Taurus never forgets and finds it impossible to forgive, right? So you have people who want you to remain in these energies where you struggle with, you know, letting go of an unpleasant experience or encounter, right? Trying to intentionally frustrate you, like, because understand, weak vessels get easily possessed by demonic forces or involve, you know, demonic forces, right? Malignant spirits, right? They get easily possessed by these things. So it doesn't matter if, you know, it doesn't matter if you go to the store, a store that you normally go to, or let's say you like to go get a smoothie from a certain place, you know, at a particular time, this person could be going through whatever and weak, and they decide to be an asshole to you just to trigger you. You get what I'm saying? And then you go outside, and the person next to your car, they do some shit too. And then that causes even more frustration, like water just boiling, like your blood boiling. All right. So you drive on to wherever else that you're supposed to go. You get there, and then some other, you know, somebody else do some more inconsiderate, you know, selfish shit. So trying to, you know, do things to you, body hopping, weak vessels around you, wherever you go, to try to trigger you. Make you have a nervous breakdown, panic attack, you know, or whatever the case. Like, I'm telling you, like, no, those are invitations. Those are invitations. Those are invitations that we do not conform to. We do not conform to. If we allow it, if we accept it, and we get all riled up and everything, like their intended purpose was for us to do, no, that's being a conformist, right? So that Aquarian energy is basically, that's why I showed y'all the face of the person yesterday, because that's the idea of the energy. Like, you have people call you arrogant or try to call it all kind of other things just for you being, you know, wise and watchful and observant, right? Learning from your experiences, knowing how to identify certain things and frequencies, being able to see auras, read auras, living out your gifts and not questioning it anymore, not doubting it, not, oh, this shit is in my head. No, you can see shit around people, and so you don't, oh no, I'm good, I'm cool. Man, you tripping, man. You crazy, like, man. You and that stuff. You fucking with that shit. Ever since you been fucking with that shit, man, your ass been acting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Trying to passively, you know, throw a little shade and shit and laugh it off and all type of shit like that. But you know, in little ways or all kind of ways, trying to undermine or belittle or devalue, you know, your beliefs and your values, right? Exactly. Then proving you right. Something you said, oh, see, that's why I shared a post yesterday, and I said crazy actually means saying the right thing too early. Being able to have forethought and foresee things, right? Before these things spring up, I shall tell you of them. I don't have to go there. I already intuitively picked up on things. I can already see things using my clairs and my abilities to let me know, hey, don't go that way, go this way. Hey, not that person, this person. You get what I'm saying? I already know that. Why would I ignore and reject that for what somebody else tell me? And then I do that only for the shit to happen anyway that I already saw was going to happen. You get what I'm saying? So we've already encountered enough of those. We've encountered enough of those. We don't want those anymore because oftentimes they're not pleasant situations. And it's not, it was supposed to be unpleasant. So your ass will fucking get the point, right? Get the point and ascend. Forgive and release, ascend, right? It's a cycle. Forgive. They know not what they do, but I know, so let me ascend, right? Let me leave this era and let me ascend to a higher level because I'm not there no more. I'm not there no more. This how they think. I understand why they think like that. I thought like that before, but nah, I'm not here anymore. Right? It's not my place to battle it. It's not my place to like try to prove to them, hey, this is what this. No, and then they attacking me in the process of me just trying to, you know, hey, I'm just trying to let you know because I know, like, I ain't trying to, no bullshit. But you getting attacked, and you getting projected out this energy that they're harboring, these demons, right? Because they're weak vessels. You're allowing access for these energies to just put their fangs in their venom, right? Didn't it say venomous? It said venomous, right? Venomous, venom. That's why I said it can be a remark. They can just say something to you, and that's venom. Think how fast a snake can bite somebody and inject venom in their body, right? So that's what it is. That's why they're saying, look, you already know what this is. Before these things spring up, I shall tell you them. So don't accept the invitation. Why are you hanging out with them? Why are you letting them come to see you? Why are you going to see them? Why are you doing that? Why are you answering their call? Reject the call. Block their number. You know, every time they talk to you, yeah, it'll be like some cool, cordial shit for a minute, yeah. Woo, woo, woo. Say some goofy, irrelevant shit, gossip or something. And then, boom, they take a shot at you. Let me get a little jab or a little venomous shot before I get off the phone. You know what I'm saying? So, before these things spring up, I shall tell you of them. You sit there thinking, I don't want to be like I don't want to seem like I'm an asshole. I don't seem like I'm being mean or... Because you're naturally a nonconformist. But you're sitting there questioning you being a nonconformist. Right? When you're supposed to be that way. When you're a divine chosen, you're supposed to be that way. But you're questioning it. You're questioning it because it makes them uncomfortable. It's not convenient for them. So you question it and you give in, okay, hey, how you doing? And then boom, there's the venom. You underestimated them, right? But we're talking about extremes. We're talking about to the extremes, right? So, beware. All right. So, about this Piscean energy, because there's so many Pisces placements right now, y'all. So, I really want to talk about this, too, because that's very fucking extreme. So, the Pisces is not just about veils, right? Because, you know, Pisces is ruled by Neptune. So, you'll think about the character traits of the planet, which is, you know, it's a blue planet. It has water on it, ice, and it's surrounded by a bunch of veils, like a thick-ass veil. So, it's hard to penetrate. You know, it's, you know, outer, what is it called? I don't think it's called axis, but it's hard to penetrate it, right? It's, I can't think what it's called. Anyway. The semicircle of the soul is pierced by the cross of matter, representing the interface between the spirit and the material world. The three prongs symbolize facets of consciousness: the unconscious mind, everyday awareness, and cosmic consciousness. All right. Oh my God. So, its detriment is in Virgo. So, just to give you an idea, think about the Hermit card, Hermit mode, going into Hermit mode, or being very smart, research, investigating, right? Asking questions, getting answers. That type of energy. Service. And we got exaltation, Leo. And then we have its fall is in Aquarius. That's the part that got me. All right. So keywords: unboundedness, dissolution, inspiration, illusion, ecstasy, romantic love, escapism, enlightenment, addiction, nebulousness. Let me run that back because my live just paused. So I said glamour, deception, mysticism, disintegration, impressionability, confusion, guilt, intangible, sacrifice, and glamour. First thing I heard was glamour spells. All that shit is being exposed. All that shit, ain't nobody buying that shit no more. That shit is not working on divine people anymore. It's not working on divine beings anymore. Like, I want you to look at this person's face. Look at his face. This is somebody trying to exercise glamour spells on a divine masculine here, and he's just like, no, like, I'm not interested. I'm so uninterested. I'm so uninterested. I'm not. No. I'm not entertained. No. So, and why is this fall in Aquarius, right? So this is talking about these people, you know, having the confidence to be okay being a non-conformist. I'm not conforming to this shit. I don't care how many of y'all doing this shit. I don't want that shit. I'm not conforming to it. I don't care. I don't care how many people doing it, bro. I'm not conforming to that shit. Right? And Aquarius too, talking about the higher mind. So divine masculines coming into their higher mind. They're not. So we're not talking about these masculines that's still in their root chakra. We're talking about real, you know, divine masculines and emperors and high priests and kings here who have a higher mind. They think from their higher mind, right? They lead from their higher mind, not from their ding dong. Not from their ding dong, right? Neptune's surface is diffuse and deceptive. It wears a veil of illusion that is impossible to penetrate. So, things that stand out for this particular energy is the urge to transcend. That's why I put urgency and deliverance. An urgency to be delivered from chaos. An urgency to be delivered from repetitive toxic cycles. An urgency to be delivered from the lower, from the triggers of your subconscious. Wanting a deliverance from that. Not wanting to be triggered by people emotionally anymore, right? Wanting to be delivered from that. Having a sense of urgency to be free from that. That's for a reason. That's because of a breakthrough. There is a breakthrough. You're on the verge of a breakthrough, or you just was on the verge of a breakthrough. You just came through a breakthrough, right? So that's what the urgency is talking about. Neptune embodies the urge to transcend the boundaries that keep the soul separate from the whole. This planet moves between the greatest extremes, from the highest spiritual awareness through imaginations, fantasy, and illusion, to the depths of deception and disillusionment. The planet of mysticism, glamour, and enchantment, Neptune exerts a hypnotic fascination. It is the urge to transcend the everyday world, to move into higher states of consciousness, and to merge with the divine or to escape reality. To merge with the divine or escape reality. So that's why we're talking about extremes. Y'all, this is not a coincidence that Pisces is in so many freaking houses, right? Look. Sun in Taurus, Moon in Pisces, your emotions, right? How you perceive things, your intuitive perception, right? What you are creating, what you are birthing into reality, right? How you process emotions, your emotional processes. We got Mercury in Taurus, Venus in Pisces, right? So that love, where is it? Unconditional love, right? Wanting healthy, divine, unconditional love and not that toxic shit no more. Or lust, right? Venus in Pisces, Mars in Pisces, right? So that's talking about the conflict, the will, right? Imposing your will. Jupiter in Pisces. So all of this energy being expanded. Saturn in Aqua, Uranus in Taurus, Neptune in Pisces is home planet, Pluto in Capricorn, Lilith in Cancer, and Chiron in Aries. And the thing about Lilith in Cancer, right? Lilith is that, you know, that non-conformist, right? While Eve represents the conformist energy, Lilith represents the non-conformist, the rebellious energy, right? The enlightened one, the higher mind. That's what Lilith represents. The rebellious one. Yeah, so all of these energies, like about people, you know, being guilty for things, impressionability, people trying to copy other people, trying to mock, you know, how people carry themselves or how they talk, or stealing their work, their creative property, trying to wear or cloak their identity as if it's their own. All these things are being exposed. And then if you're a high vibration, then you're going to receive more enlightenment, right? More enlightenment of all these things, of how to protect yourself amongst these things, how to recognize it, right? How to identify it, have a deeper understanding, opposed to internalizing it, thinking that it's because of you, right? So we're moving out of that, moving away from that, and moving into unconditional love for ourselves, unconditional love with the divine, from the divine, and, you know, coming into connections and, you know, strengthening connections and bonds that we already have, rebuilding some bonds and some connections, right, into a state of healthy, unconditional love, right? Because we're changing how we eat. We're being more aware and conscious of what we consume. So this is going to be some information like about people like doing hypnosis, like using hypnosis too. Using hypnosis so that you'll be fascinated with them. But if you're of a higher mind, a higher vibration, then you have an urgency to transcend the everyday world, to move into higher states of consciousness, and to merge with a divine individual. When Neptune operates positively in your natal chart, it endows an individual with the ability to reach out and bring inspiration down into form, creating the poet and the visionary. So Pisces also represents the visionary energy, right? But here's the thing: there's some people who engage in fantasies that are not real, right? Who engage in fantasies that are dark in nature, you know, that are harmful, you know, people wishing things on you and stuff like that, or having fantasizing about people, so doing sex magic and stuff like that. And there's going to be karma for that. These people are receiving karma for that right now. But for you, this is talking about you perfecting your visionary abilities in order to manifest things into physical form. Or seeing this now. This is talking about utilizing the word, the magic of the word, in order to do this as well. This is why I mentioned the poet, right? Understanding that these things that we saw in movies, that was exercised in these movies and TV shows like magic and abracadabra, and then they'll make it rhyme and shit like that. Don't take that shit serious. That shit is real magic. That shit is real fucking magic. It really works. Take it serious. It's not just entertainment. It's not just entertainment. So that's what Uranus is talking about too. And Neptune. It was like, look, now this stuff, look, all the stuff that's been put in your face, y'all should be able to discern like what really is like some high mystical shit, like that really can be utilized and how it's been used against you, but how you need to turn around and use it for yourself now, right? Instead of fixating on what it did to you when somebody used it against you in your past. What does it mean to move from the south node to the north node? You take what is good from the past, right? Leave what doesn't work and you bring it into the north node. So now that you understand of some of these things that they were telling us are really real, so what you're going to take from, you're going to take using it for divine purposes, right? Victim, martyr, savior. One of the most powerful drives that underlies Neptune is that of the victim, martyr, savior. Neptune wants to save the world or one person. There is nothing Neptune likes more than self-sacrifice. So be mindful. Be mindful of self-sacrificing yourself for the sake of, you know, for the sake of love. Because you want love, or you want, you know, you want at least one person, or you just want some loyalty, or, you know, some support and stuff like that. Like you have to be mindful of that. Self-sacrifice. Or doing it too often. Look, but all too often and too easily, Neptune slips into victim or martyr role. This unpractical planet is easily taken advantage of, especially when it comes to doing things in the name of love. Right? So this is talking about, you know, divine people having these deeper realizations of this, right? And really coming to terms and, you know, placing these boundaries and making them solid. Not going back on that, right? Trusting their intuition inside of all these things, they're doing what they deserve, right? Treating themselves of high value now. I'm channeling like masculines too, like divine masculines moving into this energy. Neptune has to do with mysticism and the search for enlightenment. And that's talking about, you know, achieving that higher spiritual connection, and emotional connections in your love life, in your career, like in your family foundation, like in everything, like finding ways to merge that, right? In all arenas of life. Like this is what divine people are doing at this time. The way that we were intended to live, right? Okay, so this is talking about addiction. Neptune's diffuseness makes it difficult to grasp. It is as though the planet wears a veil of illusion. Its energy is unfathomable. Slipping away into uncharted depths, Neptune remembers that the soul was once part of the infinite oneness and urges reunion. This Neptune remembers that the soul was once part of infinite oneness. Oneness. and urges reunion. So this is, oh my goodness, this is what you could be feeling right now, or what we've been feeling as well, like their urgency for deliverance from, you know, these connections that are not real, these connections that are not truly, you know, for our higher good, right? And an urgency to be in these connections, or be, you know, in these arenas where it is, you know, resonance with our soul and our frequency. But having that urgency and that strong desire is what's going to help will and manifest that energy into your life. This is why Neptune is so often linked to escapism of all kinds. It is the planet of addiction and disintegration, as well as imagination, seeking spirit in a bottle. Neptune characteristics. Neptune attuned people possess glamour in the old sense of the word, the ability to bewitch. They are also impossible. So we're talking about charm. Remember, Venus is also in Pisces right now. So this is talking about people trying to charm you romantically with their words, or trying to seduce you, right? That's also that Neptunian energy, that Piscean energy. With that glamour spells, using their glamour, you know, persuasion with their beauty and stuff like that, or with their voice, like to bewitch you. So moving out of that, like being able to recognize that now, and not being swindled into that, or having your seed swindled into that shit. Well, you know your seed is supposed to be birthed from a divine a yoni, a universe, a womb, right? Divine masculine should be having kids with divine feminines. All right. They are also impossible to categorize or pin down, demonstrating the planet's elusive quality. Lacking strong boundaries, Neptune-attuned people are susceptible to outside influences. They may feel alienated or isolated in an uncaring world, or may be saints or gurus, or ordinary people with artistic or musical vision. Neptune is highly compassionate, ruling psychics and dreamers as well as psychotics. But it is also the planet of illusion, so confidence, tricksters are included under its mantles. Tricksters, liar, manipulators, right? Dark magicians. Neptune is highly compassionate, ruling psychic streamers. Okay, so this is why. So you could be feeling like inclined, like to create. You could be picking up like some visions or whatever for things to create, whether that's music, art, whatever it is, right? Because this is talking about the guru. So channeling a lot more messages, or your channeling abilities enhancing in quality, right? And in rate as well. Right, so channeling at more rapid speeds and stuff like that, you know, or enhancement in your love relationships if it is healthy, if it's a divine partnership, right? A deepening, and even in the sex, like even in the sex, or just like the senses, like what you feel, like, so just feeling it deeply. So this could be talking about tantric sex, or, you know, like the mind, body, all that being connected, you know, in your connections, right? So you feeling love at a deeper level, feeling unconditional love at a deeper level, because you obtain it for yourself. You feel it for yourself, so you're able to feel it deeper now, a more intense experience of it. So this is what this is talking about. So being like very dreamy, like, so there could be a lot going on in the dream state as well. A lot going on in the dream state. If you're having trouble with dreams, it could have something to do with some type of addiction here that could be blocking your dream state. So just you know, lay off that a little bit. But this is talking about people being their psychotic, you know, tendencies being exposed, mental illnesses being exposed. But illusions around these things as well. Yeah, you guys could have been feeling like, yo, like this world is very uncaring, like, you know, and so you still could be dealing with like detachment issues and stuff like that. Traditionally, when well placed, the disposition is gentle and visionary, given to the arts and music. When poorly placed, the disposition is addictive, escapist, and prone to delusion. So this is telling you that, you know, for this Neptunian energy, it's best for you to, you know, apply that energy to things that are like, things that are aligned with your desires and your gifts and your abilities and what you do naturally, what you love, something that you love to do, something that brings out the best of you, right? Something that feels like, you know, this is something that you're meant to do. something where you can be a visionary, you can create. You can create outside of like what's around you, like your circumstance, your current so-called temporary circumstances of the environment around you. All right. But a way to identify a person having issues with the Piscean energy is addictive traits, engaging in escapism, and that ranges from a lot of things, and then prone to delusion. And it says music and artistic pursuits are under the influence of Neptune as well. And that's why I'm here. You know, a lot of people like to say Satan or Lucifer was like the angel of music. But think about illusions, how illusions have really discombobulated the whole world, and the fact that Neptune rules over music and artistic abilities. It's some shit popping off right now, for real, in the ethers. I don't even think I'm gonna have time to read. So let me see if I can. Okay. So Pluto is the renewer. The crescent of the soul hovers above the cross of matter, surmounted by the spirit, symbolizing the descent of spirit through the soul into man's mind, experiencing the fire of transformation. It rules Scorpio. Its detriment is in Taurus. And then its exaltation and fall is, they don't have that listed. Power, abuse, birth, death, rebirth, regeneration, elimination, taboo, pollution, transmutation, subversion, obsession, compulsions, the unconscious mind, decay. So, dictator, orgasm, religious conversation, psychoanalyst. Although small and far away, Pluto nevertheless exerts a powerful influence. So that makes me think about David when I said small, right? But still exerting a powerful influence. The urge to regenerate. So urgency, right? We just got done talking about urgency. So having an urge to regenerate as well, to be renewed, to eliminate, all matter of waste, in whether that's people, places, habits, ideas, mindsets, perceptions, just an urgency to, detox these things. So you can be feeling encouraged to detox, to fast for a breakthrough. I should get my sticks, but because I do want to try to pull some cards to go with this before we leave. But this is talking about a struggle with power dynamics and this being balanced out too, right? Leaders being returned to rightful thrones and this type of energy, or like the type of mentalities, the leadership mentalities that actually do help to transform, groups for the better. These being balanced out, returning to their rightful place and positions, right? So we got the cycle of life. Pluto has powerful links with the conception, birth, death, rebirth cycle, in which energy is constantly reborn, dies, and is renewed, right? So you guys could have been dealing with like a chaotic energy, right, with this Uranus and Taurus, but this is a death. This is a death that's leading to a rebirth, right? Because that's something that we should be used to by now. But I don't know what it felt like for you. So the intensity, right, could have really been hitting. So let's just say that. Like an emotional hit. The planet is connected with death of all kinds, especially endings and beginnings. Pluto is also intimately associated with the kind of sexual act in which the ego dies in an intense orgasmic experience that goes way beyond mere physical gratification. Pluto embodies the drive to confront all that is deepest and darkest in the psyche. The planet of pollution, inner and outer, it is the toxicity of emotional and psychic abuse. And the repository of all things that are deemed unacceptable and evil in oneself and in the world. Pluto is all that must be eliminated, including the festering resentment, envy, and jealousy that lurks in the depths of the psyche. The planet forces such things out into the open so that the psychological processes that lie at the root of the behavior can be understood and transformed. It tempers the gold within the soul. This planet has much to offer those who are prepared to explore the places where others fear to tread. Used wisely, Pluto can transmute the blackest of experiences to release a potent creative force. All that has decayed becomes fertile compost for new growth. Seeds are sown and germinate in darkness. Pluto brings new life forcefully, if necessary. Used unwisely, Plutonian darkness festers, leading to an orgy of destruction. When unresolved, explosive Plutonian rage leads to war. So that's why I was saying Taurus detriment is Mars and Pluto. Right? So just think about the energy of Mars that we just read and the energy of Pluto. When people invite you to these type of encounters or conflicts, right? Or this could be triggering like experiences, like such as rape, right? A perverse experience from your past. Something that triggers, right? So getting over these triggers, releasing what's the remnants that's associated with whatever will cause you to be triggered, moving forward in the first place, right? So digging up those that emotional pollution that's wedged deep in the psyche. So this is all what's happening at this time, a renewal here, an urgency of deliverance for renewal, right? And what's unseen, that's why we got Piscean energy too. But it's a major emphasis on unconditional love, for being an outsider, for being an outcast, for being an underdog, for being different, for being eccentric, for being a nonconformist. Major emphasis on unconditional healthy love, respectable love. Respect my vibration, respect my frequency and my originality, respect my genius, respect my liberation, right? Rebelling against those who try to put me in a box or whatever the case may be. So this is what's going on right now, right? Lots of healing around this. And it could be coming out like through rage, through passion, through frustration, through breakdowns, panic attacks, nervous breakdowns, like like when you step out of character, that could be what it looks like, these breakthroughs, right? With Chiron and Aries, Chiron and the energy of Aries, Mars, that's why I said that could be what it's looking like right now. So it's very extreme, intense emotions and feelings, these things coming up, right? Giving you no choice but to face it, but to address it, right? So healing these wounds, woundedness. So I'm looking at Chiron because Chiron is in Aries. Woundedness, suffering, fragmentation, healing, paradox, dilemmas, reunification, initiation, fusion, the shaman, the key, the maverick, integration. An astronomical puzzle. It has been suggested that Chiron may be a comet, a planetoid, or even a very large meteorite. So this urgency for integration and healing, integrating the things from our past, right? Those lessons, those things that work, those things that helped us, that helped aid us through whatever we experienced in the past. Taking those things, right, and reinventing it, or refreshing it, bringing a renewal to this energy, right? So this is talking about, so Chiron is helping raise the vibrations in the physical body and to stimulate the chakras too. Yeah, I got to do this next video about crystal gems. Chiron. Oh. Chiron taught the arts of healing and warfare. Many of his pupils became great heroes. It is necessary for each individual to take responsibility and recognize that suffering is largely created out of ignorance and greed. Much of our plight is caused by a refusal to be part of the greater whole, or the whole self, resulting in fragmentation. Chiron urges the giving up of the separation and the fusing of the instinctual nature with the spiritual self. Wow, this is some powerful energies happening at this time. But these are energies that are definitely working with us, like co-creating with us, energies that we've already been doing. We've been emitting these energies. We've been conduits of this energy in human form. So basically, it's like co-creating with the universe, literally. Literally. The time is now. The time is now. Chiron and Aries, wounded. Oh, wound is in the ego or the self. Wound is in the ego or the self. It may be necessary to renounce the ego. Healing comes through being centered in one's self. So things that could be compromised at this time, or you could be seeing a release of this energy, could be through the immune system and something pertaining to the thighs and the genitals. So this could be so I already talked about detox and purges, but you know, for people who are low vibrational, you know, dealing with karma, you know, bad karma, unfortunately, it could be sexual illnesses or, you know, stuff like that. I do want to read this detail. Past life stumbling blocks of this energy looks like unhealed wounds and fears, personality splits, role as victim or scapegoat. So moving out of that energy and really seeing your worth. Like, yes, you know, the reality may be that you were scapegoat or whatever, but that's not your identity, right? So moving away from that identity. That's why you have some people saying, no, actually, you were the golden child, right? So making sure you're releasing old perceptions that are outdated, right? That's already served its purpose. So you can keep ascending, right? That's what Pisces is talking about. A continual ascension every day. Every day, right? That's what this Piscean energy is talking about. That's why it's so major right now. It's so heavy. It's so heavy upon us right now. And it's so basically Taurus is helping us ground this energy. That's why we're in Taurus season. We're in the second house. So it's helping us ground this in our careers, right? Making sure we apply this to every arena of our lives and we ground it, right? Have boundaries in place. We don't go back on it, right? We be stubborn in this shit. Be stubborn towards being a nonconformist. Be stubborn towards that shit. Right? All right. I think that's all I have. Let's see. Uranus and Taurus. In this placement, irresistible force meets an unmovable object that creates enormous tension. Something has to blow. It is inventive in a practical way. In this placement, irresistible force meets an immovable object. Woo! That's heavy fucking tension, okay? That creates enormous tension. Something has to blow. It is inventive. It is inventive in a practical way. So this is talking about something blowing up, a breakthrough or breakdown here that's going to lead to you inventing something, you creating opportunity out of chaos, that Uranian energy, right? Flip your shit, lose your shit, and then write a dope ass song. So it's some energy like that, right? Or teaching somebody or doing something, alchemizing that coal into gold, right? So that pressure, being under that pressure, but, you know, making something good out of it. This is what this Uranus energy is talking about as well. Being innovative with these experiences, with these energies. All right, you guys. All right, so some recommended crystals is lapis lazuli, sapphire, aquamarine, azurite, and this is just like crystals to, I feel like these are crystals just that are good to have during this whole like age, honestly, of Aquarius. Lapis lazuli, because that's talking about speaking up, that's talking about expression, right? So that's part of age of Aquarius as well. speaking up, you know, on what you believe in, speaking up these truths, these things that, you know, otherwise are taboo, that people try to keep hidden, right? That's that combination with that Piscean energy, right? So keeping some lapis lazuli on you, wearing blue, wearing electric blue, right? And guess what? I'm going to say this too. Guess what the number is for Uranus, y'all? 22. 22. Also, there's going to be some karma surrounding banks, gas stations, or people like who's over gas, psychiatric hospitals, or hospitals in general. Prisons will be replaced with personal offices, dispensaries, and fortified places. So people who was doing more harm than good in these type of careers or with these businesses, like people who own these type of businesses, but they was doing more harm than they were good. Using railways and stuff for like dark, sinister, karmic, malignant purposes and stuff. These people are getting karma right now, and that could be in death, the form of death, illnesses, prison, but mainly death and illness, being humiliated publicly, backfiring on their children reaping the benefits, some of their children turning against them, working against them. So I want you to think about these type of careers: quantum physics, researcher, welfare worker, antiquarian, astrologer, teacher, scientist, chemist, lecturer, sculptor, metaphysician, hypnotherapist, computer programmers, or anybody in a low vibration or de-evolved state or using these things for malignant purposes. These people, you're going to see this coming right now. You're going to see these people suffering from addictions, all type of shit. But otherwise, those who are of a high vibration, these people are going to help transform, like help us transform for the better, right? Speaking up about these things that they've witnessed, right? No longer being quiet or keeping quiet. Or these people are protesting. They're leaving these businesses. Like they're quitting and this, that, and the third. They're going and they're forming their own personal offices. They're opening up their own personal office so that they can lead with integrity, right? These are the type of things that are happening, right? We're not going to conform, you know, to this shit no more. We're just going to do our own shit. We're going to do it right, right? So this is the energy right now. This is your girl, the Authentic Empress. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next video.